Welcome to Catholic News World. We're so happy to have artist Timothy Schmalz here with us, telling us about his new life monument.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
And beside you there is just a little model of your larger, much larger monument.
Yes, in my studio, this is where I actually create not only the huge sculptures, but also the small models. And this is actually the original model of the National Life Monument. The large one I'm creating right now, I just made the molds of a secondary size piece, and now I'm working on the huge version, casting it.
Beautiful. And how long did it take you to finish one of them, the largest one?
Well, it's not done right now. It's in the process. All this is the only one that's kind of in its physical form right now. But I had the idea to do the National Life Monument actually at Christmas time last year, so 2020, during Christmas Eve. Actually, I started working on it, and I 4 in the morning Christmas Day, I was working on it. I first of all thought of having it like a Madonna and Child, and I really was compelled to do a design that would be very, very unique as far as a pro-life monument. I've done plenty of pro-life monuments in my life, and I've seen so many. And I thought this time I wanted to use beauty as the number one ingredient. I wanted to create a sculpture that would actually persuade people. I felt that some of the monuments, the pro-life monuments out there, were really just almost not necessarily bridges but walls. And I wanted to create a sculpture that would be an invitation to the other side. I thought that wouldn't it be nice to create a monument, a life monument, a pro-life monument that pro-choice people would really have to admit is beautiful. And I think that that's kind of like the hook. If I can use a visual hook to get people to see the sacredness of life, I can't think of any better purpose for a sculpture or a sculptor.
Beautiful. That's wonderful.
You're welcome. I'm looking, this has just started up. I'm looking for as many allies as possible on this project. It's like a lot of my projects. It's not a year project. It's a decade project. But my hope is to have not only the National Life Monument installed in Washington, which is it is being done right now, but to have the smaller life-size versions of it um, placed this time next year in many different states and hopefully different places in the world. And it's just focusing on the positive. It is a Madonna and Child. It's a woman with her baby, like we've seen in paintings for centuries. A Madonna and Child. Only one difference here: the child in the life monument is still in the womb, but it's the same uh, feeling, it's the same peace, it's the same tranquility that you would find in any mother and child sculpture. So, what this does is it brings forth the idea of the beauty of life. Dostoevsky was quoted in one of his novels. I think it's The Brothers of Karamazov, but a very profound statement. He said that beauty can save the world. And I thought about that when I created the National Life Monument. I thought if beauty can save the world, beauty can save the child. And so that is my hope. Because Life Monument is a celebration of life. Very simple. And it's also a design that is just basically using the idea of love and beauty to change people's hearts. And as I was working on it, I thought to myself, I want to do a pro-life monument that pro-choice people would like. And they would have to say, you know, that's Tim, that's just a beautiful sculpture. Because if they say it's a beautiful sculpture, then they're going to have to come to the next step and say that the idea of it is beautiful. And the idea is beautiful. So it was basically an easy project to create because a mother and child is absolutely a beautiful thing. And so that's basically where it stands right now. There's another interesting feature that's going to be in the National Life Monument, and that is most of my sculptures are done in bronze. This one is very unique because the womb area is circular and it looks like the shape of the world. And so what I'm doing here with that idea is I'm suggesting very subtly that the females, the women in our world are the ones that create the reality world for human beings. So it's a great tribute to all those feminists out there who uh, feel that they're not sometimes taken as eminent in our culture as possible. Well, this sculpture states that the women are stating the fact or describe showing the fact that the women are the creators of our universe for humanity, right? So it's a really beautiful concept, having a womb the shape of the world. The world is the womb, in a sense, within our human existence. And then in the center, there you have the baby, the new baby that's yet to be born. But the womb also is created in a stainless steel that is mirrored. Now, this is a material that oftentimes you will see in abstract sculptures, but this here is used at the center point for one very symbolic reason. The mirrored steel will mirror the world around it and pull it in. In a sense, it will suck in the world to that living life space that is in the center of the woman and Mary, because it's kind of designed as a Mary sculpture. And so if someone goes and takes a look at this sculpture, when they approach it, they will see their own reflection pulled into that womb, which is beautiful if you think about it. You know, they say with sculpture that it's a good piece of artwork if you can see yourself within it. And this literally is going to make people see themselves within this sculpture, but not just anywhere, but in that center life force womb shape, in a sense, reminding them that that's where they came from. And not only will it hold or reflect the people that look at it, it will reflect the sky, the sunrise, the sunset, and everything around them. And it's like the universe is held within this mystical spot that's in the center of Mary and in the center of all women to a certain degree with their ability to create human life. So where is the huge one going? Well, the first over life size, and this is going to be a monumental, double the size of a normal person. It's going to be installed at the Theological College in Washington, D.C. Now, that is one of the most amazing locations for the sculpture because the sculpture will be facing the National Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. What a better place for it, because it's literally the pro-life monument is literally right across the street from the National Shrine in America. So that's very exciting. But it doesn't stop there. what I'm doing with the image too is I'm hoping to raise money for people that are trying to raise awareness. And so right now, if you go on the website, nationalmonument.com, you will see that EWTN is selling rosaries with the National Life Monument on, with part of the proceeds going to the March for Life people. And that's awesome. And I want to do more of that. My hope is to replicate what's happening in Washington, D.C. to many other countries in the world. Canada, Poland, I would love to have one in Poland, Italy, and other places. You see, I think the powerful, effective way that this is going to work, using art as a tool, is by persuading with beauty and putting out images like this that celebrate life. I think the one way that we as people that are life affirming can hold our heads up high and move into a culture that's more supportive of life. Pope Francis said that we're living in a culture of death. And I think one of the best ways of stopping that is placing images of life, big images, bronze images that aren't going away. And so during this year, actually, while I'm making the huge colossal version for the theological college, I am hoping to get 50 life-size versions of the piece in each of the 50 states across America. And and uh, and that I think would be great. It's so organic. It's almost like a seashell. And in the center of the seashell is that womb. And in the center of the womb is the child. I actually thought about calling it the Donna and Child, just to be a little bit ironic. But I love the idea of just calling it the National Monument to Life, right? Because I think that the National Life Monument is something that we need to see. And I think that it's something that we need. Why would I go about this? Well, I'm working on so many different sculptures. I really do think that the sacredness of life is very important to me personally. I feel that my artwork is not just art for art's sake, but it has to be an artwork in general. Cannot just be art for art's sake stuff. I think artwork has that power. It has the power to persuade. It has the power to actually change society more than anything else, I do believe. And it's interesting because, like I mentioned before, one of my favorite quotes is from Oscar Wilde, who said, "The people in London didn't see the fog till the painters started painting it." And I think that is kind of the magical power of artwork in persuading people's minds and hearts. And so why not use artwork as a tool for the life movement? And I don't think there's a better thing that artwork can be used. And in a sense, artwork is an effective tool that has been used for centuries throughout the Catholic Church. But I do believe that today, so any allies on this project would be great. My website is www.nationallifemonument.com. Easy to remember. There you can see the beginning of this project.
Lovely. Great. Well, thank you so much. And I hope it goes all well according to plan and it changes some hearts. I'm sure it will with all your monuments and all your sculptures too. God bless you and thank you. Till next time.
Thank you very much.